Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Gluttons for Geekdom Live. I am Nick James, and today we're going to be talking about old Shellhead here. Yes, the Iron Man. We're going to go right into cinematic versions, as I've been trying to stick to. It's just, eventually I'm going to get to the comics. Everybody seems to be about the movies right now, hyping about all the buzz coming out about it. And comics are it's just so much thicker, and to try to explain multi-universes and writers and just what is considered storyline versus what is just on its own. We're just going to stick to cinematic stuff. If you want to know more about the comics, hook me up. Like always, though. Do you know what? Let's start this one with a comic that you should read, and then we'll go into cinematic. Sorry for breaking already. This one's really good. Iron Man fights Doctor Doom, Legacy of Doom. Incredibly well done. Now let's get into the movie stuff. Okay, so the first one came out in '08 and was directed by Jon Favreau. And this is what X-Men or Spider-Man was for Sony and Marvel, or Sony and Fox. This was Marvel's first, boom, look at this. Everybody wants to talk about Blade, and yes, sir, Blade happened. I gotcha, it's good, but this is Marvel Studios coming into its own. It's phase one. We had Ang Lee's Hulk. Let's not talk about that. Marvel Studios, and this started it, and at the end, as everybody knows, you get the first Samuel L. Jackson, and, I want to talk to you about the Avengers. So the first, that's why I consider it canon, though it's the first in this canon, and it is, in my opinion, if Civil War didn't come out, this would have still been my number one, because everything rides on the back of this movie in terms of tone, in terms of who the character of Tony Stark is, and he plays off everybody else. It all started with this, and it's a home freaking run. So you got him, Gwyneth Paltrow comes in as Pepper Potts. She'll follow pretty much through by his side through all of them. But we had Terrence Howard, excuse me, as our first roadie. Apparently for number two, he wanted more dough, and they were like, hell no. So that's why we got Don Cheadle, which is fine either way. I would have loved to seen how Terrence Howard played it out. He was cool. I mean, he was cool in the first one. And, he gets to look at the silver Iron Man, and he goes, next time, baby. But no next time for him. Like I said, Don Cheadle gets to take it over. So Favreau is in the movie. If you didn't know, the director of the movie is in the movie. He's happy. He's the chauffeur that he races and stuff. And I love doing that. If I want to get into production stuff like that. And I've always enjoyed that kind of little cameo or MacGuffin, if you will, of just like a little nod, like, hi, I did this and I'm also in the movie. And he carries it over to number two. And even though he doesn't direct number three, he still carries it over. And that's, really cool. In the Homecoming Spider-Man that we saw, we got a little bit of taste of him. Like, you didn't get the suit. So he's kept up with it, even though after number two, he kind of... people didn't receive number two very well. Alright, first one first, Jeff Bridges. Awesome. Ironmonger. We get him caught in the desert. The original was Nazis. Now they bring it up to current affairs, which is, people in deserts that don't know if they actually went into a country or an organization that's real world. Came in, took over, made the first one, got out, and reevaluated his life. I mean, did the whole thing. And as a character and as a person, Robert Downey Jr. did that. There's this really cool story I want to share that Robert Downey Jr. was like, if you can look up his mugshots and stuff, he was just kind of, in a funk, in a phase of a downward spiral. And the story goes that he had a buttload of illegal drugs, and he stopped at a Burger King, and he got a burger that was so disgusting. Sorry, Burger King, I eat your shit all the time, if you couldn't tell. Burger King, and he just looked at this burger, and it was so gross, and he equated that burger to his life, and he's like, what am I doing? Threw out all the drugs on the burger, and now he's Robert Downey Jr. and clawed his way back to the top. And Jon Favreau was like, guys, this is our Iron Man. I know you're worried about him, but don't. He is Iron Man. And like I said, everything is rested on his back still. Awesome. So that's almost what Iron Man does. He wants to stop making weapons. He wants to stop doing that. So he starts blowing up. He becomes Iron Man. He fights Jeff Bridges. Let's continue. Jeff Bridges, Ironmonger, much bigger, and he flies. How are you going to solve the icing problem? Think about it. That's really awesome. And he falls, and at the very end, he does one thing that no superhero really does, and everybody's like, I hear he's your bodyguard, and he goes, I am Iron Man. Bum, bum, bum. And it's one of the best endings. That came out in '08, so 18, I was like, that's stuff's really getting started now. 2 years later, we got the second one, and like I said, we had Don Cheadle fill the role of the War Machine, and he actually got to be War Machine. I mean, it looked awesome. Looked very well. We had, what was his name? Mickey Rourke come in as Whiplash, and we had Sam Rockwell come in as Tool. Excuse me. They both did okay. Like I said, the movie wasn't really receptive well by me personally too as well. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. It happened. I'm happy it's there. Where's my bird? That's all I got. Whatever. So then, oh no, the only good thing actually, excuse me, we get Romanoff. We get Black Widow out of that. So that's good. Avengers, we get to see Iron Man next. It's not an Iron Man movie, but he is cinematically in it. And he kind of pushes the whole thing, and he's got some of the best lines. And I love when Phil breaks in, and he's like, "What?" His first name is Agent, and he doesn't play well with others. I knew that. So he doesn't really take over. I mean, him and Cap kind of have this thing, and put on the suit. We'll go a few rounds, and at the end, they fight. They did what they were supposed to do, and that was have some conflict. But at the end, it's go time, and we have to fight. We got to take care of this. So it's really awesome to see. Then that was Joss Whedon, and seamlessly throughout those first three, he kind of seemed like the same person, and then Shane Black had to step up, and he got to do Iron Man 3. Now, John Boy does Gluttons Geekdom podcast with us. New episodes every Sunday at Podbean, YouTube, iTunes. Plug. Won't stand for this movie. I think he likes 2 better than 3. We're going to get into that on a cast one day. Yeah, no, we're good for time. But Guy Pearce, Rebecca Hall, Ben Kingsley join in. Now, what everybody pissed off about is the Mandarin in the comics has these cool rings, and it makes him powerful, and he can actually go toe-to-toe. And the Invincible Iron Man, the Marvel Cinematic cartoon, if you watch that one's really awesome. Oh, shoot. All right, hold on. Let's take a break. Where are we at? Hello, Lawrence, sir. Sam Rockwell is Justin Hammer, Tool. Yeah, I just said Tool because he is a Tool. Robert Downey Jr. is supposed to be John. Okay, doesn't. Awesome. Thank you, sir. Lawrence here with us, everybody. Awesome guy. Guy Pearce, Rebecca Hall, Ben Kingsley come in. Mandarin, rings. He wasn't. He was a puppet. And do you want to have another story? And haha, I was just drunk and on drugs. And they got you off them? No, they gave me more of them. And it's a puppet. It's a false front. He made a terrorist. So Guy Pearce, the actual bad guy, can act and use this to promote fear and to promote that through him and still have a patsy. And Ben Kingsley did what he did purposely and did it well, I think. Then there was another little excerpt where he was in jail, and they're all like, "Come on, do it, be the Mandarin." And he was, "Okay, America, are you ready for another lesson?" And somebody comes in and attacks him, and it's like, "Yo, the Mandarin wants you to stop using his name." And it's like, awesome. Like, all right, let's see where that goes. But they still haven't touched it. I'm not sure if there's going to be an Iron Man 4. I don't know. I'll figure that out, let you guys know next time. If we see him again in Avengers 2, Age of Ultron, and he's the reason Ultron is there. In the comics, I don't think that it was him. I think it was Fantastic Four, Mr. Reed Richards, and possibly Banner. But I think it was mostly Reed Richards. And they had that prison that you see in Civil War, but even though it was a prison in the ocean, it still went to another dimension. So it was like prison on top of prison. But not in this one. It's all Banner and Stark. We got the Pietros. It's really good. But Iron Man himself is just, he plays through the movie again because it's an ensemble, so he doesn't really get his whole time. He gets much more time in Civil War. Just came out this year. Sorry, Avengers 2, I still didn't write that down. Josh Whedon, though, but now the Russo brothers got him. Sorry. And there was a lot for him to do in this because he's the one opposing side, after Vivica Fox, I think her name is, came up and like, "You killed my son." And it breaks his heart. And, we have to have a Cap on this. And Captain says, the safest hands are still our own. And it goes through that whole beat. And he's the one who brings in Spider-Man. And he seems to really be in Spider-Man Homecoming, at least. And I love it. I love the whole, like, as he reaches over. I wasn't giving you a hug. I was opening the door. Oh. And, leave the bad guys to us. And it seems almost like, I don't mean to say this, but Batman and Robin kind of thing, I know it's a Marvel movie, but that seems like the perfect kind of relationship. And he really clearly seems to want to put some moves on Marissa Tomei. So, wouldn't that be great? We are in our own universe. We are pulling some strings and playing lines in the entertainment universe of Marvel. Let freaking Tony Stark be Spider-Man's daddy. That would be hot, man. I'm just saying. Anybody agree with me? Like, let me know down in the comments. Or let me know if I'm going to be called on upon court to, I don't know. Anyway, Gluttons for Geekdom, we are spread out right now. We have this from Tuesday to Friday, 4:30. Saturday morning, join us for Saturday morning animation congregation. Become a part of the congregation. We talk about awesome cartoons from back in the day. Back in the day, you know. Static Shock is up next. You know, I'm going to put a shock to your system. Saturday morning animation congregation. Every Sunday, a new podcast drops at YouTube, at Podbean, excuse me, and at iTunes. All three of those. Our YouTube has all of these up right now and has all of our current episodes. So go to our YouTube page, look at all of our YouTube. What I think we're going to start next is a gaming page. You like games, you like watching people play games and listen to what we say about games, especially games like Arkham Knight and Injustice and stuff like that. That, I think, is our next step. We're working on that soon. But Gluttons for Geekdom is here. We're growing. I've been Nick James. Tomorrow, 4:30, what are we going to talk about? I don't know. Write into me, guys. What do you want to talk about? Oh, wait, let's see. I'm sorry. Let's see who else we got. Yeah, I wouldn't turn down Marissa Tomei. Hell no, I wouldn't turn down Marissa Tomei. Nice call, Lawrence. Same records. Justin Hammond. All right, that was the last comment. That's exactly where I want to leave this. I wouldn't turn down Marissa Tomei either. Nick James, Gluttons for Geekdom. Have a good day.